everyone. I am Diana Marimato from PS Information Technology, and I am going to discuss about electronic mail email protocols. First, let's define what is electronic mail protocols. Electronic mail email protocols are a set of rules that help the client to properly transmit the information to or from the mail server. So, when we say electronic mail protocols, it is a set of rules that dictate how data is exchanged between two systems. In this case, the system are a client and a mail server. So, the client and the mail server represents your email program. And the rules ensure that information or your mails is sent and received accurately and reliably. It's like a set of instructions that both the client and the server follow to understand each other. There are three interfaces to access a mail from the web servers and send a mail to the other user. First is desktop email client. It allows you to access your inbox both online and offline. It is a system or application provides access to your email messages regardless of your internet connection status. Online access refers to checking email when connected to the internet, while offline access means you can view and sometimes even compose emails without an internet connection. The changes made offline are then synchronized with the server once you are connected. Example of this are Outlook and Mozilla Thunderbird. Second is Mail Web Interface. It's a mail-enabled service available using a browser that allows you to access your email accounts without using an email client like Outlook Express. So, Mail Web Interface is a part of the Mail-enabled server software. When you set up a mail-enabled server, it includes the webmail service. Users can then access their email accounts through a web browser by visiting a specific URL provided by the server administrator. The webmail interface allows users to log in with their email credentials and manage their email accounts. Example of this is Gmail and Yahoo. The third interface to access a mail is a mail application on mobile. These are apps that allow you to access and manage your email accounts. They offer a convenient way to check, send, and organize emails from your smartphone or tablet. So instead of using a computer and a web browser, you can use the application to check for new emails, send messages, and organize your inbox directly on your mobile device. So unlike to the desktop email client and mail web interface, mail application on mobile is more convenient to use. This makes email management more portable and accessible. Example of this are the email app or the Gmail app on your mobile phone. Email protocols. So there are three types of email protocols. First is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol or the SMTP. Second, Internet Message Access Protocol or the IMAP. And third is Office Protocol or the PAP. So first, let's define Simple Mail Transfer Protocol or the SM. Simple Mail Transfer Protocol stands for it was first proposed in 1982. It is a standard protocol used for sending email efficiently and reliably over the internet. SMTP is application level protocol. It defines how client and servers running on different end systems pass message to each other. It is a mail sending protocol. So I have here a diagram or example of SMTP. So in this example, Alice is a sender and Bob is the receiver. Both users are connected with its respective server, and both mail server are also connected with each other. So here, Alice wants to send a message to Bob. So in first step, Alice uses the user agent to compose the message. So after composing the message, Alice uh, sent the message to the Bob's email ID. And second step, Alice Alice user agent sends a message to her mail server, and this mail is placed in the outgoing message queue. So here SMTP protocol is used to transfer a mail message or transfer a message from Alice device to the Alice mail server. In third step, Alice mail server SMTP opens the TCP connection with Bob's mail server. So here, TCP connection is established between Alice and Bob's mail server. So both the mail server communicate at the port number 25 through the TCP connection. And step number 4, SMTP sends Alice's message over the TCP connection because here SMTP is associated on the port number 25. So it transferred the message from Alice mail server to the Bob's mail server and put the message in the incoming message queue of the Bob mail server. Then step number 5, Bob's mail server places the message in the box mailbox. So whenever the message is stored in the box mailbox, at the time is eh, at the time the SMTP is used because the purpose of an SMTP protocol is to deliver and stored message at the receiver mail server. And the sixth step, Bob's user agent access a mail from the Bob's mail server. But in this step, SMTP protocol is not used because accessing the mail server at the time, uh, IMAP or POP3 is used. Second type of email protocol is the Internet Message Access Protocol or the IMAP. It was proposed in 1986. It allows users to access emails directly on the server, enabling synchronization across multiple devices. This protocol is ideal for users who access emails from various devices. It is a mail access protocol. Access IMAP client connects to a server by using TCP connection and allows users to store their email on remote server. So if the SMTP sends an email here in IMAP, it accesses the emails. So uh, I have here an example of IMAP. So let's assume that client want to access a mail from the mail server through the mobile device. So client will provide the authentication information and log in into the mail server. Then client will access all the mail and download in the mobile device. But the copy of each downloaded mail is stored in the mail server. Now, client will access the mail server from another device. So again, client want to access the previous downloaded mail server. So we all know that IMAP allows user to store the copy of each email on the remote server. So client will easily access all the mails from the server from anywhere and from the any devices using the IMAP protocol, since IMAP protocol allows to access emails. Now let's discuss the IMAP transition diagram. So there are four in the IMAP transition diagram. First is not authenticated. Clients provide authentication information to the server. Second, authenticated. Server verify the information and client is allowed to perform on a mailbox. Third is selected. Client is allowed to access manipulated individual messages within the mailbox. And fourth is logout, wherein client sends logout command for closing IMAP session. So let's discuss the diagram given in the right side. So whenever client wants to access the remote server, at that time TCP connection is required. If there is no TCP connection, then TCP connection is established between the client and the remote server. So there are two possibilities. First is client is not authenticated, and the other one is client is authenticated or pre-authenticated. So if client is pre-authenticated, it means that the client will log in into the remote server. When client is not authenticated, client will provide the authentication information to the server. Then the server will verify the authentication information. So if the authentication is correct, then authentication is successful and client will log in into the server. After that, client can access a mail from the mailbox, and after accessing a mail, a client can read, compose, replay, forward, delete, and move the message from the mailbox. After accessing the mailbox, client will close the mailbox, and after that, client will send a logout command to the server and close the IMAP session. IMAP extra functions. First, user can check the email header prior downloading. It means that we can read IMAP extra functions. User can check the email header prior downloading. It means that we can read the email subject before email is open. Second, user can partially download email. It means user can open the file before downloading from email. Third, user can search the contents of the email for a specific string of characters. It means that we can search the email through the email ID, email subject, specific keyword, and the file name. Fourth, a user can create, delete, or rename mailboxes on the mail server. So using this functionality, we can store the specific email in the specific folder. Also, we can filter the incoming mail and store into a particular folder. Last is the IMAP protocol provides command to allow user to move messages from one folder to another. It means that we can store a specific message or specific messages into a specific folder. The last email protocol is the Post Office Protocol or the POP, commonly referred to as POP3 or version 3. So it is an internet standard protocol that allows email clients to retrieve emails from a mail server. Essentially, downloading emails from a remote server to your computer for access. It's a way to access your emails through a mail client like Outlook or Apple Mail by pulling them down from the server to your device. So POP3 is a mail access protocol and uses TCP connection. POP3 is used to transfer email from a mail server to client software. So in this diagram, TCP connection is established between the client and the server. After the TCP connection, POP3 performs three phases, which are the authorization, transaction, and update. So after the TCP connection is established between the client and the server, client will log in into the server, and for the login process, client will provide the username to the server. Then the server will verify the user and send OK message. If the username is correct, then client enter the password. So password is verified at the server side, and send the OK message and log in successfully to the server. So this is the authorization phase. Next is the transaction phase, wherein after logging in, the user will retry email from the server and the list of email is sent by the server to the client side. And after that, client will access the emails from the list of email and that access email is downloaded at the client side. Then after that, user can send, forward, replay, or delete the mail. After the transaction phase, user will send a quit command to the server and using that command, PUBG connection is closed and TCP connection is released. So this is what you call the update phase. There are two modes of PUBG. First is delete mode. Mail is deleted from the mailbox after each retrieval. Second is skip mode. The mail remains in the mailbox after download. So to understand more, let's assume that client want to access a mail which is stored on mail server through the mobile device. So in delete mode, uh, when client and the mobile device access the mails or messages in the mail server, the all of the messages in the mail server will be deleted. And when the client PC access the mail server, you have to uh, create new messages for the client PC to access the mail server. While in the keep mode, uh, when the client access the mail server and download it, um, all the messages will be remain. So there are limitations in the PUBG. First is PUBG does not allow the user to create folder and organize mail on the server. Second, PUBG does not allow the user to partially check the content of the email before download.